Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another interview on the Southern Cross Combat channel. My name is Joel Rasmus and I am your host. And today we are speaking to Mr. Alastair Volders out of Absolute MMA. He's a very talented young featherweight gentleman who I was very fortunate to grab some time with when I traveled up to Absolute last week to talk to Sam Miles. That interview's out. You can watch that after this one. There'll be a link on screen if you're watching this on YouTube. It was good to grab Alastair. I realized I've never spoken to Alastair one-on-one in like a sit-down, like this type of format. I've only ever done post-fight interviews with Alastair. But it was cool to talk to Alastair. He moved down from Queensland. Just him and his partner moved down to follow the dream. And he trains at Absolute MMA. He's a training partner of UFC's Jack Jenkins, of UFC's Khan Offley. And also, he's a real staple of kind of the featherweights there. The thing that people say to me about Alastair from that gym is that he is one of the hardest working guys. When I grabbed him to do this interview, we talk about it in the interview, but he was doing one of those 1%ers. He was doing like a public class, jumping in to try to learn something, to hope that he could then use that in the pro class or bring it there. He's a guy who is really going all in. We talk about what that is like. We talk about the move. We talk about life in Melbourne. Training, I think he says he does like 16-hour days just at the gym. He just leaves the house and then won't get back for like 14 hours or whatever, and he's just at the gym all day. We talk about where the featherweight division currently sits with George Mangos leaving for Dana White's Contender Series, Seb Saleh leaving for Road to UFC, the interim title fight. Oh, sorry, the vacant title fight between Sem Kakembo and Marwan Rahiki. We talk about that. And overall, it was just really good to talk to Alastair in a more sat down setting. So I hope you enjoy. If you do enjoy, please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps out. Also, when I say that, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're not listening to this, if you're watching it, when I say subscribe, does like the bottom light up? I've seen that in videos. That would be cool. Maybe if it lights up, you could click the button. Either way, if you're listening to this, subscribe on YouTube, and if you're watching this, find us on Spotify. Just if you're doing one thing, also do the other thing. Follow the Instagram, and enjoy my chat with Mr. Alastair Volders.
G'day, it's Joel Rasmussen from Southern Cross Combat, and I'm here. I'm in the ring at Absolute MMA in Collingwood talking to Mr. Ali Volders. Alastair, I appreciate the time. I absolutely am interrupting your training. What were you doing before I grabbed you?
I just came from Andy, so we did 2 hours of Muay Thai, and then I was doing my sprints while you were with the other interviewee. And then I was just wrestling, and I was just piecing people up there, and I thought, you know what, I'll give these boys a break, and I'll jump on my second favorite interview platform with Joel here.
Second favorite?
Well, first favorite is the Absolute MMA podcast. Obviously, I'm biased, but if that didn't exist, you would by far be my favorite.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up because I was about to end this interview early if you said anyone else. I was talking to that other interviewee who we can mention. His name's Sam Miles. We can talk about him. I was talking to him about the ring. He's been going for about 10 months. I described it as almost like a sister gym to Absolute. There's a lot of crossover there. A lot of guys go over there to do the striking. How long have you been going to the ring?
Probably about between maybe a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. I would say around 2 years. Jack was my way in, I started training here, and then, I was obviously training a lot with Jack, being a featherweight, and then noticed he would go to Andy's and get some striking coaching in, and thought, fuck it, tag along one day, and then me and Andy clicked, and yeah, it's been really good going there, helping with the Muay Thai, just a different environment. Don't have to worry so much about grappling and takedowns. Obviously, we still drill that every now and then if we're doing conditioning there especially, but it's nice to have a pure look at the Muay Thai, and Andy's like they say on the Eternal podcast, one of the best kept secrets in Aussie MMA or Australian combat sports. He's got such a good mind for it. And his coach, Jeb, which is actually like a really old Thai guy, he coached Andy. He's there every day as well and gives really good knowledge. He speaks good English. So, yeah, he's a massive addition as well.
I think it was after your fight, I think on Rogue, I met Andy for the first time. And I was like, hey, Andy, I'm a big fan about how you teach people to knock people out. And he was like, cool. And I was like, that guy's sick.
Yeah, he's cool.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, he's got a sweet, wicked haircut. He's actually the nice. You look at Andy, you're like, oh shit, this guy means business. But he's actually really sweet. He's into rocks. He loves collecting rocks. Yeah, I swear, he doesn't even get excited about going overseas to coach fires. It's more about the rocks in the area he can collect. He's deep into it.
This might be a better question for him, but is it like gems or just like rocks?
I believe it is gems, minerals, like rocks that you can collect, things like that. He's got an app for it. He loves it. He loves it.
Stuff that looks cool.
Yeah, exactly.
You mentioned you've been going there for about 2 years now. We've talked about it before. You're a guy who moved down, originally training in Queensland, moved down. You're here, as far as I'm aware, by yourself, like no family, to train here at Absolute. So when did you move down to Absolute, and then how quickly after that did you start going to the ring?
I moved down to Absolute the end of 2022, I believe. So almost like 2.5 years ago now, September. And I was here for maybe about like 6 months to a year, just only at Absolute. And then I started branching out and going to the ring gym a little bit. So I'd say about 6 months to a year. And then I started going to the ring gym, and then I made that like a big part. So I go there 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings, and then Absolute all the rest.
And I would be amiss if I did not mention the lovely watch you were wearing. Were you wrestling with that?
Yeah, I was. It doesn't come off my wrist. Rogue MMA, they pay well. I got Fight of the Night on Rogue, and, they just gave me this watch. It was pretty sweet, so thank you, Simon.
Very nice. I don't know anything about watches outside of they look nice. Is there anything about that watch? Can you tell me anything about it?
It's a Seiko Blue Diver watch. I think it goes for about $800, but, Rogue MMA, they put, they were so impressed with my performance, they just gave it to me. So, yeah, we're swimming in money over here in Absolute.
Well, you're a man who has many impressive performances, and when can the people expect to see you next?
I know, that's a question I've been waiting to answer for a long time. So the plan always was to have a bit of a slow start to the year, because, last year I got injured, obviously, so I couldn't fight. And then we had a pretty hectic end of the year. The Tough Val fight of the night. Ethan Mitchell was another tough fight of the night. So Simon laid out the plan. He said, okay, for the first part of the year, we're going to take it slow, work on skill development, get pretty much UFC level, and then we start pushing for the UFC. So there's something in the works at the moment. So, hopefully you'll see an announcement within the next few days or maybe a week or so. And then, we'll go from there. But it's an exciting fight. I think people will be surprised, so it's good. It'll be a good fight.
And what do you make of your opponent, whose name is?
I can't say, because nothing's in writing yet, so I don't want to, let the cat out of the bag, but it's a good matchup. It's a very competitive matchup, and, yeah, it's exciting.
What is the roadmap? You say there it's, I associate you're a young guy who's on the come-up, but we are getting to a point now where it's 3-0 title, 2-0 title, 4-0 title defense, UFC. I feel like the path to the UFC has become more difficult in terms of very few mistakes can be allowed, but clearer. Just go and then you do it. So what is kind of the roadmap for you?
So the roadmap, obviously, plan A, if everything goes according to plan, we fight a taxi driver now and then, pad the record a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. It's a business at the end of the day. And then title fight, defense, UFC. So, things happen quick in this sport. It might be this year, but I think we're probably planning for next year. But we'll see what happens. I might say next year and then all of a sudden it's here, and I'm not going to pass up an opportunity like that. So we'll see what happens, just got to get through the next fight. It'll either be one or the other, but yeah, it should be coming soon and put on a good performance. I feel like being sort of the quiet storm, haven't really been making much noise at all this year. Haven't been going out of my way to call anyone out or make posts or really anything. I've just been in the gym, put in ridiculous hours, more than most, to be honest. More than a lot of people would. I would say 99% of people would say I'm overtraining. I say that's a myth. It ain't real. It's just fake news. Have a cup of concrete. But yeah, I've been in the quiet storm, just train as hard as I can, get into that next level, and I'm excited to show it.
That's what people from here tell me about you. They say, we were making jokes about it before this interview started, about the class you were doing is those little 1%ers. But that's what people tell me about you. They're like, if Alastair's not here, I don't know where he is, because he's always here. What drives that hunger?
Just love for the sport, man. Just passion. I love being here. I love interacting with people, the pro team, obviously, it's great, but it's people I see every day. And I go do the general classes. I get to meet people that I wouldn't meet outside of the pro team. I get to maybe drill my B game, help coach people. Maybe if we covered double legs in both classes, Connor would show a variation in the general class I might pick up and be able to use in the pro class, or I see something up there I can ask in the pro class, or vice versa. I just love it. Honestly, I'm out of the house from about 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and got to keep the missus happy on the side. But, you know, she's a good girl. You know, she always tells me, like, I'm real tired. I'm like, I want to come home. She's like, did you do your run? Did you do your last class? I'm like, nah, baby, I'll do it tomorrow. And she's like, no, do it, and then we can hang out, you know? So, yeah, she helps me as well a lot.
The last time we spoke, it was just after a victory that you had, and it was just before your anniversary, I believe. Well, you were going away together with her, I think maybe to Tassie, but I don't know that for certain. How was the trip?
It was beautiful. Yeah, I went to Tasmania. I got really sick, though, to be honest. So, yeah, I caught something there. I don't know. I've never been to Tasmania. It must have been maybe the seafood or something, but it was good. We were in a nice, like, little hotel. I was obviously healing my injuries. My eye was cut. It was all glued up, and I ripped it open accidentally on the first night. So it was a beautiful trip. I really liked Tasmania. It was a nice little bit of downtime, and then since I've been back, I've just been in the gym every day, pretty much. Yeah.
I mentioned before about, we've talked about it before, packing up to move down here. Is she, like, did you know her before you moved? Did you meet her in Melbourne? Is she from Melbourne?
No. We actually met in Brisbane. We were dating for a year, and then I just said, like, look, this is what I'm planning to do, and she was on board, and we basically just gave it a few months, and then we left. I met her at one of the gyms, actually. So I was like one of the jiu-jitsu coaches, and she came to a morning class at 6 a.m. She came in with her boyfriend at the time, and I just towed him up in front of her. And then she left him, we got together, and it's been history ever since.
No way, dude.
She'll say that that's not quite true, but if we look at the facts, that's pretty much what happened.
Actually, the alpha.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Shut up on him.
Yeah.
But being the partner of a fighter can be a very difficult thing. It's something that takes so much time. And then hearing that she was willing to, like, move interstate to help with, like, the support of the dream. What does that support mean to you?
It's incredible. It's such a driving factor. It's like, you know, when I get tired, I'm like, oh, you know, fuck, I don't want to do this. I'm like, oh, do it, you know, for both of us to change our lives, things like that. You know, she sacrificed so much. Come down with me, living her life behind, and I'm sort of like, you know, I remind myself, I'm like, if I'm tired or I don't want to do a session, I'm like, fuck, why did I come here? Why did we come here? Why did I bring her with me? To change our lives, to live the life that, you know, I think we deserve, and yeah, so it's nice.
Does she still train?
No, she doesn't. She retired she's a forever white belt, but she says she's going to get back into it, so hopefully she does, but I'm not pushy on that. You know, if she wants to do it, I'll support her. If she doesn't, I'll support her either way.
Nothing wrong with being a forever white belt.
Nothing wrong with it at all. I'm still a white belt at heart, you know. When I start losing fights, I just spaz out and it tends to work.
Something that I was talking about with Sam Miles was before. We talked about the prospects coming through in his division, in welterweight. And he was talking about he feels like there's a bit of a hole in the division right now, a lot of opportunity for people to make that run. We talked about that before. Things can move very quickly in this sport now. Featherweight is in a position where George Mangos is leaving. Presumably, if all goes well on Contender, he will get signed. And the belt is now vacant. Marwan versus Sem Kakembo. What do you make of that fight between Marwan and Sem?
I think it's a good fight. It's a pretty good stylistic matchup, you know. Two long, lanky boys going at it. I think that fight is probably decided in the first minute. You know, either way it's going to swing. I think, you know, Marwan's a great fighter. I think he's a confidence fighter. If he can get out there and get the ball rolling, I think he'll do well. If Sem can go out there and shut him down, I think he'll do well. I just hope it's a competitive fight between, you know, two boys that I like watching their fights. May the best man win. I'll be watching. Obviously, I'm rooting for Sem, you know, as a teammate and all that. So I hope he gets it done, but I'll be watching either way. And I think it'll be a good fight. It's a really good matchup, and yeah, it's exciting.
If we can talk about Sem for a moment here, you mentioned their teammate. He's going to Combat One at the moment. He's doing some training out there. You say that you're rooting for him. Kind of, what is the relationship like with Sem? Is ever like you guys still good? You guys still chat?
Yeah. I went and caught up with him about a week ago. You know, we chat every now and then. Obviously, I don't see him every day now, but Sam's one of those people. When I first came to the city, he was like the first boy that I met, because I think I came in on a Wednesday night, drove here, and then I came into Absolute, a morning class on Thursday morning. He was taking it, so he was my first point of contact with the team, and he really took care of me when I first came. Like, he took me away to some retreat at Mount Macedon, something like that. It was something he was doing, and he just said, come for free. He fed me and Bree as well. Like, he didn't just treat me good, he like treated my partner good, and he's always been, you know, a good friend of mine and a good training partner, and that sort of stuff goes a long way with me. When I first came, I didn't have anything, and he really looked after me for that first little part, and he's been there for me, and I've been there for him, so always going to be like a lifelong respect thing for him, and I'm always rooting for him, but it is what it is, you know, like, we're still friends, but not training partners. I wish him all the best, and yeah, I'm sure I'll still see him around, things like that.
No disrespect to this upcoming mystery opponent, but we've talked about kind of what your roadmap looks like. Win this upcoming fight, whenever or wherever or whoever it is, title, defense, UFC. The Eternal Featherweight title is also one that, in theory, may be up for grabs. Seb Saleh has gone on to the road to UFC. If all goes well for him, he will be vacating that title and moving on to bigger things. So that kind of brings up another option for you. And maybe it's dependent on how well Sem does against Marwan, but Hex title, Eternal title, which would you want?
Both of them. I'm really not fast. I think, like, obviously Eternal's good because it's on Fight Pass. Hex has a certain buzz about it, and I think recently more Hex fighters have been signed to the UFC than Eternal fighters, I believe.
To contenders, yes.
Yeah, to contenders. So there must be some. Maybe they pay closer attention to Hex. Hex is in Melbourne, so that's always nice to have a hometown crowd. I'm really not fussed, to be honest. I think they're both nice. If I'm looking at just the title in terms of how they look, the Hex title probably looks a little nicer. But I'm really not fussed. I think the Eternal title, I haven't heard much about it. I just hear that's vacant. I don't know what they're going to try to do. I've been turned down by quite a few fighters lately. I think 3 fighters have turned me down. So I don't know how realistic the Eternal roadmap looks, but we'll see what happens.
And finally, for me, Alastair, I really appreciate the time, especially me just coming to grab you and be like, let's talk to each other. We talked about the watches earlier. Are you like a big watch guy?
No, this is, I think I had like a little shitty Casio as my work watch, and then, Rogue MMA, shout out Rogue, they gave me this watch, and, I just thought, look good, feel good, fight good, train good, everything. So I put it on today. Usually I actually don't wear it, but I heard I was going to do an interview, so I thought, look good. And I'll put it on,
Well, I appreciate that. I lied, actually. I do have one more question. You were a fan of Bryce Mitchell. Unfortunately, he did not get the win this past weekend. What did you make of that fight?
I thought AI is getting real crazy nowadays. The AI videos that are coming out are insane. No, but in all honesty, I've been a fan of Bryce for a long time. Like, not just recently, like probably since he fought Andre Fili. I just like his style, no nonsense, will fight anyone. Farm boy, doesn't give a fuck. Loyal, things like that. Yeah, it was a good fight. I thought Bryce was doing well, and Jean those fighting nerds are on a bit of a tear right now. I think they're so confident, so calm. They see everything, and they're well-rounded. So, yeah, I don't know what'll be next for Bryce. I think I was talking to Jack. Maybe if Jack gets a big win, they could set up him versus Bryce. That'd be exciting. That'd be cool.
How would you feel then? Because it's your teammate versus your love.
Jack is my love and my teammate. So I'll be going for Jack, obviously. Yeah, it'd be a good fight. I think that'd be like a stellar fight. It'd be good for Jack, If he can get that win, that's a high-profile fight, and it's very winnable, especially right now. I think Bryce is he's good, but I think he's on a little bit of a drop-off right now. And, if Jack can put together a good win, I think that'd be a good fight for Jack.
And finally, for me, I had one, but I got to remember what it was. Oh, yeah. You did class this morning at the ring. We talked about that at the top. I took you out of a wrestling class. What does the rest of the day look like for you?
So I'm going to go back, do the last 20 minutes of wrestling. I think they're doing a bit of live work because there's a big comp coming up, so I'll just go on that, do that. Then I'll rest for an hour, have my lunch, might do a little bit of shadow and bag work, and then we've got the pro team at 2:30 till 4, so a little bit of striking and grappling with the pros, and then I've got work tonight, teaching classes 5:15 till 8:30, and then I'm home and rinse and repeat tomorrow. Up nice and early, we'll do it again.
Do it all over again. I appreciate you so much for the time. Thank you, my friend.
All good, thank you.